Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about my project, which I did on a project-based learning experience some students had in a middle school where they learned about public art and happened to create their own public art themselves. So let's review what PBL is and how it was in this scenario. As you can see, they're right there in the, whoops, they are here using power tools, creating their own art. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, so this project touched on multiple subjects: art, history, language arts, technology, and communications. Students were required to create a kinetic sculpture to be showcased and voted on for public display. So the students created kind of a mini sculpture, and there was a show at the end of the project where the parents and teachers and faculty came and looked at all the sculptures and voted on which one they thought would be best to be displayed in their community, which I thought was really cool, engaging the students with the actual community, the literal community. Um, they researched pre-existing art in their community and took pictures of it, along with like learning the history of the art and what it stands for in their community. So that was interesting. Um, yeah, the lesson was called Kinetic Conundrums, and the teacher was Gus Goodwin. He started the PBL with two questions: how does art reflect the community, and how are science, math, and engineering related to art? I liked these questions a lot. You got the students thinking critically and a little deeper than the surface level. So they researched the historical public art in their community and visited to take pictures of them. They created a Google Maps walking tour for the art that they picked to go look at and take pictures of. Whoops. Oop. Uh, and finally, they were challenged to create their own kinetic sculptures and propose it to be displayed in a place in their community. Yeah. So what I saw when I was watching the video is that the teacher, Gus, was over prepared for the lesson. He had obviously spent months in advance talking to his fellow teachers, and it even mentioned in the video that they had a session over the summer. So definitely that's a key aspect of doing PBL is preparation on the teacher's part. The students were working independently and in groups, and they used just kind of basic supplies that you would find at a school, arts and crafts supplies, really nothing too, complicated other than power tools, of course. I think that this lesson worked well. It worked exactly as it was intended to. It got the students to think a little more than the surface level, and they reached the answers to the guiding questions without even trying. They came to these answers just by doing the project, by engaging the activities that Mr. Goodwin wanted them to, which is the goal. So I think it was almost perfection. Which, like I said here, they were given guidelines and challenged to discover the knowledge on their own. Normally, students would be force-fed the knowledge and required to regurgitate it. This is one of my favorite aspects of PBL. So I wonder if I were to do a similar PBL in Memphis, because of the culturally rich art supply in in our city, we have, the Tigers. Just what I see, just by the U of M, I see the Tigers, I see murals, I see graffiti. It's all art. Like our city is full of art, and I feel like students would be really engaged in art if I were to challenge them to just look around as they go throughout their days. But I would also offer the option of for students to choose some digital art they see throughout their daily lives, because a lot of students like to be on the phone or the video game more than they are in, you know, real life almost. So that would be a good way to include everybody, I think, in my PBL. And thank you very much for listening.